Welcome to another edition of Exclusive Interview, coming to you from the studios of 84 TV Radio, Abuja, Nigeria. My name is Stanley Bentu. These days, it seems almost impossible for you to stop at a junction or go to a conference or turn on your radio or television set without someone trying to teach you what it means to be a good leader. But who teaches us how to be good followers? And is it necessary to have good followers for a leader to succeed? Well, that's what we'd like to find out today, but before that, have a look at this report.
Leaders matter greatly, but in searching so zealously for better leaders, we tend to lose sight of the people these leaders lead. If you have not heard the term followership before, or not thought twice about it, you are not alone. It usually appears as a non-word when documents are spell-checked on the computer. It is not a new concept, just one that is often overlooked or forgotten. Why followership is overlooked is an intriguing concept. Without followers, would there be leaders? Who would they lead? Who would become the leaders if they were not first the followers? Leadership and followership is a supportive bond. Leadership and followership are closely intertwined. Effective followers can shape productive leadership behavior, just as effective leaders develop employees into good followers. In this edition of Exclusive Interview, we speak to Bishop Nixon Jallo, a clergyman and leadership specialist who helps us examine the important role of effective followership, including the nature of the follower's role, different styles of followership that individuals express, and how effective followers behave. We also explore how followers develop personal potential to be more effective.
Joining me on Exclusive Interview this evening is Bishop Nixon Jallo. Bishop, you are very much welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's my honor.
It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about leadership, and we complain about that too often in Nigeria. And there have been so many studies done on exactly how influential a leader is. But life is mutually influential, isn't it? So does the nature of and character of the followers affect the leader in any way?
Yeah, very well. First of all, let me go back a little bit. The biggest problem we have had is not actually leadership problem.
That's an interesting one.
It's majorly followership problem.
Explain to me.
Now, when you have a good leader with bad followers, the leader is a failure already before he starts. But when you have a bad leader with good followers, they will cover for the lapses of the leader. And the leader will be protected in so many ways. Sometimes we fail because there are no good followers as leaders. And sometimes we succeed as bad leaders because there are good followers who cover for the leader. So in this situation, the effectiveness of a leader is predicated on how good a follower is. We have had so many trainings, so many developmental programs, developing leaders, yet so little leadership, so little success in leadership. Because most of the people we develop are actually not leaders. As a matter of fact, in a group of 100, you may have only 20 leaders, and the remaining 80 are followers. Now we give them leadership training, and we fail to understand that there's something else they need to know on how they can help the leader to succeed. So that is basically where we need to be better and improve.
So what would you say a good follower is? And by extension, who was a bad follower?
A good follower. Now there has been a little bit confusion on the idea of a good follower. The reason is because most of us who teach on followership have a little disagreement on who actually is the follower's loyalty to. Is it to the organization or to the leader? Most people say the follower should be committed to the organization and not to the leader. For example, in Nigeria, it is expected that people swear to protect the constitution of the country, to protect the leadership. But you came into this place because of a leader. A leader brought you here into the place where you are. So how do we define a bad follower? A bad follower is one who does not believe in the leader, and by extension the organization. Because if you believe in the leader is the visionary. The leader is the one who has the vision. The leader is the one who knows the direction of where we are going to. So he says to you, this is where we are going to. And you said, I don't care what you think of. As far as I'm concerned, I will follow the organization. But this is the custodian of the idea. This is the custodian of the direction of the organization. So, you, a bad follower, is one who thinks he knows better than the leader.
So when we define our leaders as clueless and we say we don't believe in them, and we go further to say, oh, we've lost faith in our country because of the activities of the leaders,
yes.
Does that in effect make us bad followers?
Definitely, to some great extent. If the leader is bad, it defines you as a follower. When the leader is bad, it means the follower didn't follow well. It means the follower didn't follow well. It means the relationship between the follower and the leader is not well. Now, do not forget that I am not exonerating leadership failure. There is leadership failure. But if the leader has followers that will protect him and protect the vision, first of all, when the leader says this is the place we are going to, this is the direction we are taking, and the follower now did not follow the direction, that's a bad follower. Now, when you believe in a leader, you say, yes, I believe in this leader. I am a follower of this leader. And the leader is derailing and not following what everybody agreed that this is the course. This is where we should go to. Every follower should be able to call the attention of the leader and say, sir, this is not the proper direction we are going to. Now, I am not also forgetting the fact that there are some stubborn leaders who will insist. Stubborn leaders who will insist by telling you, hey.
So what does a follower do then?
Hey, who brought you here? I brought you here. So what are you up to? A follower should be able to win the confidence of the leader. Right from the foundation, right from the beginning, to the extent that he will be able to talk to the leader and let the leader know what is wrong and what needs to be done right.
And when the leader gets repressive and probably takes out his frustration and anger on the follower, which in the case of countries, you know, you have the power of state behind you.
Yes.
And I know, so we have all of these tools where we can let our leaders know that we're not happy with the direction we're going.
Yes.
But if the leader decides to become overbearing and heavy-handed and oppressive, what then does the follower do?
You pull out.
So you can't pull out of your country.
You can't pull out of the country, but you pull out of the system.
Okay.
For your personal interest.
So we see this happening in Nigerian governments all the time, where I have seen situations where, very bizarre situation, for instance, in Plateau State, where we had a governor and a deputy governor who were even contesting for the same office. And they belonged to different parties because the deputy governor had joined a separate party, but didn't resign that position. How do you reconcile a situation like that?
That's called disloyalty. It is called disloyalty. when you notice, even though you have great followership as an assistant, okay, probably that takes me to some classes of followers. There are followers that are leading followers. These leading followers, they are in a capacity to lead, but they are not leading leaders. They are not in charge. But they have followership under them, those we call following the leading follower. Now, these people are like the deputy governor, the person that probably is a prime minister while there is a president, and things like that. You are not completely in charge. So you cannot start building your kingdom in somebody else's kingdom. When you notice that you are not satisfied with what this leader is doing, you don't have to be frustrating and sabotaging the effort of the leader. Pull out. Somebody else will be there. You don't need to be there to cause an implosion. You don't need to. Wisdom demands that you pull out and say, I am contesting for this seat of the governor. It is
and I don't want to be a part of this system.
And I don't want to be a part of this system because I don't believe in what this system stands for. That makes you more credible. But when you are in a system and rebelling, that one is called rebellion, because you are not in the leader, the person in charge. And as long as you are not with the person in charge, hey, something is wrong with you. Pull out. When the leader is oppressive, suppressive, the leader is not kind, the leader is not friendly, and you have looked for the best way possible to approach the leader kindly as a follower, and things are not working, pull out.
Okay.
It is wiser, it is more wisdom.
Certainly.
Yes, sir.
Well, we will take a break, but things are getting much more interesting, so don't go away. We still have a lot more to learn about followership. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Exclusive Interview, and we're talking about followership with Bishop Nixon Jalu. And, well, before we went on a break, one of the things that we talked about was how the behavior of followership can actually define whether or not the leadership ends up being good or not. Is the leader a reflection of the follower?
Or rather, is the follower a reflection?
Or vice versa. Is there a nexus? Because I hear a lot of people, a lot of analysts in Nigeria, and there's this theory: our country is fine, the followers are fine, it's our leaders that are bad.
No.
And it's almost an us and them, where you think, do the leaders come from space, or are they just selected from society? In which case, are they a reflection of who we truly are?
First of all, in democracy, it is very hard to define, because frankly speaking, there are many people in democratic offices that are leaders that are not supposed to be there as leaders. A leader must be able to define a direction. That's what is called vision. Where are we going to as a country? Where are we going to as a state? Where are we going to as a local government? Where are we going to as a company? And you that is in charge, do you actually have a direction? Do you know where we are going to? When we arrive at the place, will you know we have arrived? When we attain that nationhood, or when we begin to get towards that direction, will you know that we have gotten to that direction? If you wouldn't know, it means you have no direction. If you wouldn't know, it means you don't know where we are going to. But when you define a direction, it is said that where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. So when you don't have a vision, you don't have direction, you will live carelessly. A restraint in engineering language is okay, a gutter that is built with a cover on top to stop the water from spilling out. That's a restraint. Now when that restraint is not there, water spills out, the purpose of the gutter is not done. So when you are a leader and you don't have a vision, everybody will spill out in different directions, and there will be more chaos than leadership. You understand? So actually, good leadership should be able to define followership. Yet, good followership should be able to assist leadership to be exactly what they ought to do, because when the followership came, the leadership said, this is where we are going to. This is the direction. That is always my idea. When you have people that are followers, you should be able to tell them, this is the direction I want to go, this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to do. Those leading followers will now strategize for achieving the leader's vision where the leader wants to go. Now, by the time they begin to strategize where they want to go to, they now disseminate the information to those that are under, showing them where the head wants to go to. Now, you see how the progression is. It is not going lower. To the last person that will execute the program, everybody knows where it's going to. But when suddenly, while we are going with this direction, we wake up and we notice that the person at the top has lost the direction. The compass is now showing a different direction. Then we will all be confused. Sir, this is not where you said we should be going to. What's happening to you? Where are we going to? A humble leader should be able to say, yeah, that's correct. This is not where we're going to. Now he retraces his steps and begin to move towards the proper direction. But
so if you're a follower who's leading other followers,
yes,
you should be able to speak truth at all times.
Definitely.
To your leader.
Definitely. As a matter of fact, it is cheaper speaking truth that hurt than to hoard the truth in fear of a leader. It is more destructive.
And it could be because of fear. It could also be because of survival. Maybe a certain follower is ambitious and believes that the best way that they can achieve their goal is by telling the leader what they believe the leader wants to hear.
Beautiful. And not telling the leader what will help them. The truth is this. When a leader fails, you have failed as a follower. If I am under you as my boss, and then you do not succeed, nobody will see me. It is you that they will see that didn't succeed. But tomorrow when I come out and I want to do something and someone asks, okay, where are you coming from? I say, well, I was under Stanley. So Stanley, the one that fell? Say, yeah, okay, sorry. We don't have time for you. You see the impact of it.
So the follower is also defined by the leader.
Definitely. So you should be able to confidently help the leader, even if it hurts.
There's a saying that you can't be a good leader unless you're a good follower first. How true is this saying, and why is it important to understand followership?
It is true that you can't be a good leader unless you're a good follower. It is very, very true. Now let me say this. It is not everybody that is born a leader, or it is not everybody that has leadership skills. But every leader should have followership skills. Every leader should be a good follower, because followership is reciprocal. When I follow you as a leader, I am a follower. You should be able to follow me as a follower, because followers have closer eyes to the ground than the leader. They hear things the leader doesn't hear. And followers can block you as a leader from hearing certain things that are very important for your progress. So what do we do? What do you do as a leader? You have to listen to your followers and understand what they are doing. So it's a symbiotic relationship. If they flow together, awesome. It brings about great progress. If the leader wants to go alone and leave the leader behind, it's a pity.
So who is an effective follower?
An effective follower is one.
We've heard of effective leaders. We hear about it all the time. But is there any such thing as an effective follower?
Yes, there is. An effective follower is one who believes in the leader, believes in the organization, believes in what the leader and the organization wants to achieve, and believes in other followers with him or her. For example, every follower, every leading follower, let me put it this way, has a southwest-northeast relationship. And then has, now, when we say southwest-northeast, we can also say he has a horizontal and a vertical relationship. You understand? He has a relationship with the up, has a relationship with the down, has a relationship with those that are the same rank with him on the other side, and on whichever side. That's a good follower that maintains a good relationship with the up, which is the leader, with the down, which are the down people, and with the sideways, who are people on the same rank with him. Those are called the leading follower. When a leader, when a follower is able to maintain this relationship effectively, he is a good follower. As a matter of fact, followership is believing in the leader, believing in what the leader wants to achieve and what the organization wants to achieve, and believing in other people that are with you in that organization so that all of you will succeed together. That is good followership, because followership is not alone. Followership has people around. Followership has to do with others. So when you follow the leader, you also follow other followers in the organization. It makes you a good follower.
Is it possible that a leader adjusts his standards and character to the behavior of the follower?
It's difficult. It's very difficult. The reason it is difficult is because you don't adjust to them, but probably you adapt.
You adapt. Okay.
Probably you adapt. Probably you understand and you flow with them. Doing that will make the leader look low. There's a pride in leaders that makes them feel coming down to the followers' level is like, it's not comfortable. But a wise and a humble leader looks carefully into what the follower says, and he says to them, wow, I think I see sense in what you're saying. Let's walk by that. It does not mean that you are a weak leader. It simply means you're a wise leader who sees with the eyes of the follower. That's why I said earlier on, it is not every leader. I mean, it is not everyone that is a leader, but it is every leader should be a follower.
Okay, well, my final question would be just to give an advice, because this is a situation that most followers will find themselves in sooner or later. When you see something going terribly wrong, how do you approach the leader? What would be the best way to get that leader to see a point of view and to act on it? What's the best approach?
I get this question everywhere. Because leaders seem to have positioned themselves in such a way that scares followers into talking to them. It's not good leadership. A leader should be friendly enough, such a way that followers can approach. And followers should be careful enough not to hurt the leader's pride. Now, the best way to approach a leader is from the beginning. Show this leader that you are submissive. So show this leader that you are obedient. Show this leader that you are not ambitious, even though you are. Even though you are. Let the leader know you are not ambitious. Let the leader know he is your priority and what he wants is the best for you. And what anything. So by the time the leader knows this, I can assure you, the leader will do everything to protect you. And then the leader will do everything to listen to you. When you come to a leader and you say, sir, in fact, some leaders will not even wait for you. They will call you and say, Stanley, I'm thinking about this, What do you think we should do? That means the leader trusts you. Why will the leader trust you? Because you have positioned yourself in such a way that the leader have no doubt about you, that you have this interest and you have the interest of the organization. But if you are pompous, because you are educated, you are intelligent, you know a lot as a follower, and you say to yourself, I don't care what you think of as my boss, I can do what I want, then you are putting you are putting yourself into trouble, and the leader will hardly listen to you, no matter what you bring.
Wow. Well, that is critical advice.
Yes.
I would want to say thank you very much for taking the time to come here and speak.
I'm grateful.
All right.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Don't go away. We will be right back. Now that was a very interesting and enlightening conversation with Bishop Jallow. And one of the things that I learned is that followership and leadership need not be mutually exclusive. To be a good leader, you have to first be a good follower. So maybe that is a skill that we need to pick up, even if we have ambitions. That's it on Exclusive Interview today. Until we come your way again next time, thank you for stopping by.